Welcome to episode 13 of the War Room. My name is Chris Ransom, and today we'll discuss the Pac-12 players for the 2016 NFL Draft and the 2015 NBA Draft. So we'll go to Scooby Wright, and then we'll check out Miles Jack, and then we'll watch some NBA players for the upcoming NBA draft. Might even get an NHL player in there. Who knows? Sometimes you just feel I know that alarm's on. I'm aware of that. I'm just... Give me a second to turn that off. There we go. Sometimes you just feel tired. I don't want to listen to the music. Got to turn that off as well. And a good tackle there. Some list his lack of size, but you just look at a guy with this much production, and you think he has to be a first-round talent despite the lack of size. Because this guy can do it all. He can blitz, he can stuff the run, he can sack the quarterback, he can drop back into coverage. He looks like a pretty complete linebacker, but sometimes he'll tackle too low from a certain area. He'll miss a tackle. He'll make a play that just makes him look really suspect on tape. Scooby Wright doing an excellent job anticipating the defender. He sacks Brett Hundley, stops Oregon in that early regular season, or is it the Pac-12 championship? I know they beat Oregon in their first meeting. Yeah, that was the game where they beat Oregon, because I remember Arizona was the home team in that game, but then the Pac-12 championship, Oregon was the home team. So Miles Jack, that's exactly what we wanted. Then after this, we're going to go to some NBA highlights. See, Miles Jack is lined up as a Mike linebacker on this play. Now he's lined up on the outside. He's dropping back into coverage. He's playing man coverage, and most linebackers can drop back and play zone, but this guy can play zone or man. You can line him up on the inside or the outside. He can get you double-digit sacks. There's a lot of different things you can do with this guy. And there he's lined up in zone. So Miles Jack is a very talented and very complete linebacker based off of what little I've seen so far from him. And you can't, it's really difficult to find a linebacker that can play man coverage as well as he does in zone coverage. And he can also line up as a running back. So I think Miles Jack is a top 10 pick just because he can do all those things. But the question is, he's got to go to a team that runs the 34 defense or has a dire need at linebacker. And then after this, we'll watch some Indiana. Mm-hmm. Good stop by Miles Jack there. All right. I've seen everything I've wanted to see from this kid, and I'm gonna go shave, and by the time I'm done shaving, I should be back. Okay, so I shaved, and maybe we lost a few minutes. And who else do we need to get highlights of? So Stanley Johnson. I mean, Mike Schmitz does a great job with these videos. I'm just trying to figure out what the strengths are. And they use a basketball instead of a bullet to make their talking points when marketing this stuff. So I'll come right back. Yeah, and he does a good job defending the ball. Yeah, he looks like a very complete player on tape. And I mean, his wingspan allows him to stretch out to keep defenders from scoring. And that's why this guy's a top 10 pick. He may not get you double-digit points each night, but his wingspan, you watch his tape, you watch how he has a long wingspan, you watch how he's able to stretch it out and take up space. That is why. He's got an excellent basketball IQ from both ends, not just as an offensive player, but as a defensive player. He sees the plays the opponents are going to call, the screens, the pick and rolls. But he's able to use his physical tools to make a defensive play. Contests the shot. He can steal the ball. This is something we didn't see on this guy before. Stanley Johnson's going to contribute immediately as a defensive player. And that's something you need in this league, is a guy that can play both ends on offense and defense. We're going to watch some Joseph Young highlights after this. Because we know Arizona's got 2 first-round forwards. We've known that for a while. Because I remember watching some of Stanley Johnson's high school tape. And let's go with, who are we going to watch on tape next? Pretty sure Joseph Young uploaded these highlights himself. Good anticipation. He's able to execute the steal, get the ball. Call him Mighty Joe Young. Yeah, I mean, that's not as bad as Hollywood. Yeah, Joseph Young looks like he's a decent late first-round pick based off of what we've seen so far. And then after this, we'll be done with all the highlights. We could watch Kevin Looney out of UCLA, but I don't think he's as good as people have made him out to be. And I've seen his tape from the NCAA tournament. I saw some of the regular season games. I don't think Looney is as good as people are making him out to be. I like Norman Powell better. I'd rather have Norman Powell with a second-round pick than Kevin Looney with a first-round pick. Someone's going to take this guy in the first round. He has too much talent not to go in the first round. If he doesn't go in the first round, he will go in the second round. But yeah, they have all the Oregon College basketball players have yellow shoes that look like duck feet. So DeLon Wright, should we? No, we're not going to watch DeLon Wright. So it's 10:31 a.m. And you just saw 30 minutes of the War Room, folks. We learned that Miles Jack looks like a pretty complete outside linebacker prospect. Scooby Wright looks pretty complete as well. Both of those guys look like first rounders, but Scooby Wright could fall to the second due to his lack of size. And with Stanley Johnson, he looks like a complete player and a top 10 pick. Joseph Young also looked pretty complete. And his stock keeps going up. First, he was outside of my first two rounds, and then March Madness came. Then players returned to school. He gets in the top 53. Then he moves up to the top 35, or he's in the top 40. Well, now he's in the top 33 of my new NBA mock tomorrow. So he'll be in that top 33, top 35 picks. And he was top 50. Now he's top 40. And now he'll go in the top 30. So his stock keeps rising. And after I saw his tape, I'm thinking he might be a late first. And I mocked him in the second at 33 to the Celtics before watching his tape today. So that will wrap things up for the War Room. My name is Chris Ransom. So long.